White Girl is a 2016 American drama film written and directed by Elizabeth Wood in her directorial debut. It stars Morgan Saylor, Brian Mark, India Menouez, Adrian Martinez, Anthony Ramos, Ralph Rodriguez, Annabelle Dexter-Jones, Chris Noth, and Justin Bartha. The film had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival on January 23, 2016. It was released on September 2, 2016, by Film Rise. Now let's see what happens in the movie. Lee, a young college student, moves in with her friend Katie into an apartment in Ridgewood, Queens. One night, out of marijuana, she asks a group of young Latinos on her corner to sell her drugs. They refuse. Later she invites Blue into her apartment, who explains that while he is a dealer, he doesn't do hard drugs. They end up having sex on her roof. Lee tells him he could be making $60 compared to the $20 he has been selling them for. She invites him to a party thrown by her magazine, where she interns, and Blue is able to mark up his prices to the crowd. Emboldened by his success, Blue asks for a kilo of cocaine from his supplier Lloyd. He agrees and Blue and Lee go to a restaurant for breakfast. While there, he is approached by one of his regulars, who sets him up, and he is immediately arrested by an undercover police officer. Lee picks up the kilo and quietly leaves. Lee goes to visit Blue in jail and he tells her he may get 20 years in prison due to priors. She decides to help him, telling him that she has the coke, so the police have no evidence. He asks her to return it to Lloyd and explain. When she's going to Lloyd's, that same undercover cop is right outside the place, so she has to run. She then finds Blue a lawyer named George, intending to deal with the coke to pay his fee. He is optimistic that they have a very good case. Approaching her boss, Kelly, Lee sells a third of the kilo. Katie and Blue's friends help move the rest, while Blue believes George is representing him pro bono. As her debts pile up, Lloyd finds her, pressuring her for the rest of the money. So she asks Kelly for a $17,000 loan. He instead helps her throw a rave with a cover charge. The party is a success, but Lee takes too many drugs and wakes up alone with no money. Lee promises George she will get the rest of the money, but he tells her to forget it. He takes her to dinner, explaining that the legal system is unequal and white men who commit violent crimes are more likely to get off for their crimes than non-violent POC offenders like Blue. The two end up going to Lee's where she passes out, intoxicated. George uses the opportunity to rape her. Afterward, Lee becomes silent and withdrawn, staying in bed. She is surprised one day by Blue, who arrives in her apartment and crawls into bed with her. He reveals that the lawyer managed to free him and credits Lee with saving his life. Getting on one knee, he proposes to her, to which she does not give a clear answer. Walking down the street together, Lee and Blue are surprised when Lloyd attacks them both, wanting his money. Blue first hits him over the head with a broken bottle, then beats him to death with a wrench. As Lee looks on, Blue silently realizes she caused the attack by not returning the coke. Blue is arrested, watching Lee coldly as he is driven away. Lee is last seen in a classroom, just before the credits.